Shop prices for groceries emerge from tough negotiations between farmers and large buyers. But very often, farmers feel taken advantage of by the food industry and retailers, claiming they're forced to undersell their products. That's why the EU Commission has made proposals to strengthen their bargaining power.
This includes the enforcement of the Unfair Trading Practices Directive, which was adopted 5 years ago, but still not fully implemented. Among those practices are late payments, short notice cancellations of perishable products, and unilateral contract changes, as well as commercial retaliation by the buyer.
The initiative aims to reward hardworking farmers fairly. It was claims of unfairness which led to huge farmers' protests across Europe last year. But do day-to-day grocery shoppers think they have a fair point?
Gli agricoltori dovrebbero essere più sollecitati, avere gli incentivi per poter andare avanti.
È troppo, è difficile comunque farcela fino a mese per mangiare una spesa normale. Penso che sono quelli che ci rimettono molto di più a livello di lavoro, insomma. Non è giusto.
Gli agricoltori prendono pochissimo perché ci sta la mediazione.
Let's bring in Greg Laurie, who covers agriculture policy for Euronews. Good to see you, Greg.
Good to see you, Stefan.
So these imbalances between the farmers and the buyers of their products, is this a new thing?
No, we have talked about it a lot here in Brussels and in the European institutions. You remember last year, during the first semester of 2024, farmers from all around Europe gathered for demonstrations in Brussels, but also in member states. They were complaining about the surging prices of inputs like fertilizers or products to protect their plants. So it's not new. They complain also about climate constraints. So in the first step, the Commission and the EU proposed to loosen the green condition to get CIP funding, to cut the red tape regarding fundings for farmers.
Another proposal by the Commission is to protect the farmers from cost fluctuations. How could that be tackled?
There are different proposals. One is written contracts. So buyers will clearly outline different terms like prices, quantity, delivery timelines in order to get a picture of the market situation. There's also this idea for member states to establish a mediation mechanism to resolve disputes between buyers and farmers.
In general, the Commission wants a more equitable food policy. What are the guiding principles here?
The guidelines is to bring more transparency, foster dialogue between all actors, to foster competitiveness, transparency on the whole value chain. And these conclusions are the result of 7-month negotiations between several stakeholders, agriculture sector, academia, rural communities, and civil society. And these conclusions will shape the Commission's vision.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot.
There are roughly 9 million farms in the EU, more than 5 million less than in 2005. Almost 2/3 of these farms were small operations with less than 5 hectares in size. EU farms used 157 million hectares of land for agricultural production in 2020, 38% of the total land area of the EU.
These numbers show that the food supply chain in Europe is based on rather small enterprises on the farmer side. By contrast, there are a few large companies acting, dominating the market as buyers. So, how does that imbalance shape a small farmer's life?
Well, what is to be taken into account in the first place is the wide diversity and the wide complexity in the whole agri-food chain. You have very large farms that are usually very well on the market. A number of them are also export-driven. And they are usually quite profitable. On the other hand, you have a multitude of very fragmented, very small farms that are struggling, and those are the ones that need most attention or most help.
By nature, the farmer is weaker in this bargain power. It has always been and will be. It's a little bit about the size of the company, but it's also the matter of our products that are often quite fresh and seasonal. We got the UTP directive, which we welcomed, and we also now welcome the review of that.
A lot of attention's been placed on unfair trading practices legislations. But one needs to understand that those laws, they state in contracts what a farmer and a buyer can agree and what they cannot. What we should say is that those laws are not a silver bullet. You really need to look at the whole agri-food ecosystem and strengthening the players in that ecosystem in the first place.
It's not only justified, it's necessary. One way of strengthening the farmer in the food chain is by working in cooperatives or in producer organizations. And we are very much looking forward to the continued work of these proposals that have come from the Commission now.
Retailers in particular, they want to have their shelves full for consumers to come and visit them, and they want to have choice, and they want to have good prices. And for that, you need to have well-functioning supply chains. When conflicts occur, then you have mechanisms for the state or the government to intervene, but these systems should be there and used only in the last resort. Between when the conflict is too bad.
I think it's important that there are some sort of ombudsman or some organization that can mediate this. We also see that different countries have adopted this legislation in different ways. There's also a problem, so I think it's important that the whole Europe take a responsibility for that.
A major concern of European farmers is that their margins have been eroded by surging prices of inputs, such as fertilizers and plant protection products, that ultimately increase their production costs. Whether the latest initiative from Brussels helps them attain a stronger position within the food supply chain remains to be seen.